looking for direction, but your life is going every which way? Are you spinning your wheels? Never fear, Sports Sunday is here. The Bengals got bashed as the Vikings lowered the boomer. Tonight, Todd Scott and Chris Carter in vogue, along with a couple of pros on the baseball beat, Robinson and Lenahan. Nadia Coleman each paid a visit this week. We'll have her story. And say, Dave Shula, your daddy told you there'd be days like this.
Tonight, live from the Twin Cities, welcome to Rosen Sports Sunday. Brought to you by Champion Auto Stores and Crown Auto Service Centers, where you can do it yourself or we'll do it for you. And by Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this.
Night is falling on the Twin Cities, yeah. Rosen Sports Sunday is coming at you live tonight. Rosen Sports Sunday, gonna be live tonight. Short head but cool. In a game that Rosie don't cover, kick back and cool out. It's time for another Rosen Sports Sunday. 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 Rosen Sports Sunday.
What a life.
Good evening, I'm Scott Reynolds, in for Mark Rosen tonight, who's off for a Jewish holiday. The Vikings looked like that preseason team again for the first time this regular season, dominating for all 4 quarters. And even with that big lead late in the game when you might have expected the conservative, the ball control, the run up the gut, they canceled the cruise control and kept running their offense. It's a game that left Vikings fans with a lot to look forward to. But it's a little hard not to look back and wonder what could have been if this coaching staff had been brought on board a couple of years ago. With us tonight in our studio, the man who seemed to play catch with Gannon all afternoon, wide receiver Chris Carter. And another Viking who had a career day, safety Todd Scott, who was a gloom and doomer for Boomer, picking off 3 passes. Cincinnati Bengal backers like to call Riverfront Stadium the jungle. As it turned out, not even Tarzan could help the Boomer and his buddies today. The Vikings had all the right moves, taming the Bengals with a full Nelson, run back, along with Gannon strikes to the reception firm of Carter and Carter.
They threw some good passes, and, you know, Chris was open there. Anytime you get a receiver open like that, I mean, he gonna hit him. I mean, he didn't beat us down the field. I mean, he just threw 8, 9, 10-yard routes, and, you know, they was there. And
Gannon gets blitzed, and the pass is caught by Allen out of the backfield, and the Vikings score.
The offense purred like a Ferrari, setting a tone and hitting a rhythm that Terry Allen says is no accident.
Actually, we practice that, the rhythm and all, and getting up to the ball quickly and doing what we have to do and with a quick tempo so we can get out and put pressure on other teams, make them have to step up to our level of play, and that sort of takes something out of them.
Push never came to shove, except on the line, where the Vikings ruled with a heavy hand.
We wanted to come out and establish right away what kind of game we wanted it to be, and we wanted it to be a physical game, knocking them off the ball, and I think we accomplished that for the most part.
Even when Gannon got in harm's way, there was no harm done. Strange, isn't it?
yeah, it's weird. I was telling Sean on the sidelines. I mean, it's just sometimes it seems like everything's so clear, you know. I mean, today was one of those days. It just, I mean, you know, I was getting sacked, and I'd get up and I'd say, man, that didn't even hurt, you know.
Well, it doesn't when you're winning big, I guess. Chris, we heard all week about the blitzing Bengals, how they would play a lot of man-to-man. The game plan was there. You must have known you were going to see the ball a lot today.
Sometimes it just works out that way. It was a challenge for the receiving corps. They were going to challenge us man-to-man, and we practiced against it all week, and we were looking forward to going against it because it's a lot of pressure to put on a defensive back to put him out there man-to-man. And I think we have a great receiving corps, and so I think we stepped up to the challenge today.
Have you ever seen Rich Gannon better?
It's tough.
Or this good, even?
It's tough to say. It's unfair to compare him in the past because offense has been so different, and different things were expected out of him. Last year and the year before that, the passing game was much shorter, precise passing game where we threw for a higher percentage, but for less amount of yards. And this year, we can either throw the ball short, and we can also throw the ball down the field, as we showed today.
Let's take a look at some of the catches you made today, including the touchdown that kind of finished it off for your great day today. This play here, Gannon, were you the primary receiver on most of these?
Oh, yeah. Ooh, watch out. I think me and Haas were both, it's kind of hard to say the primary receiver on that one right there. But the other plays Jack was calling me, I was pretty much the primary receiver on.
And this one here was
right
zone.
There, I was a secondary receiver on that one. Steve Jordan had the double read on the right side, either pumping the hash or pumping the post, and I was pumping the hash, and Rich came back to me on 3D.
You have to like that, your quarterback finding the secondary receivers too, because I mean, with a new offense, it's nice to see that happening out there.
Well, it was very effective. He came off of 1 and 2 a couple of times and went to number 3. The first touchdown to Terry Allen was a heck of a play. He read the blitz and went right to the hot receiver in the flat, which we expect out of Rich. And I think he did a heck of a job running the offense.
And despite the blowout today, there was some controversy this afternoon. Despite the Vikings' 35-0 lead after 3 quarters, and the fact Gannon was playing with a hairline fracture in his passing hand and hurt a forearm today while getting sacked 5 times, he remained in the game. Does Rich think that he should have been granted the safety of the bench a bit sooner?
No, I mean, I think it's important. I mean, I needed to work still, and we wanted to make sure that, you know, we're still in control of the game, and, you know, we had a punt block and some things like that. We didn't want a momentum swing.
Your thoughts about that, Chris? It's 35-0. Rich is still in the game going into the 4th quarter, and Sean had a pretty good week last week, and it's nice to have some time for him.
Well, that's the coach's decision. Denny wasn't ready to bring Rich out yet, and like he said, Rich missed a lot of good reps last week when he got dinged early in the game. Sean, I think last week Sean proved that he's a quality quarterback in this league, and Denny thought that Sean could play the second half of the 4th quarter. You know, he has to make that decision on Rich, and like Rich said, he does need to work.
Yeah, it's not like he's Marino or somebody who's been a starter for 6 or 7, 8 years. A lot of the defensive starters were still on the field with the Vikes ahead 42-7, but you can't argue with the numbers. 5 quarterback sacks, 4 interceptions. The Bengals had 65 net yards passing. There was nothing chintzy about the way the Vikings manhandled Cincy. We won't use cheap shots like lower the boomer or insist the Bengal backers were chanting boomer instead of booing. Well, it's time for a reality check.
When you're the quarterback of a football team and you get paid what you get paid and you play in the limelight and you do endorsements and you do things, you know, you are going to be the focal point. And, you know, I can't say that it's not disheartening because it is, but, you know, those are things that happen.
You saw when they took him out of the game, and I guess that did kind of frustrate him. And I guess he's, like, probably think that it wasn't his day or something. So I guess we really did frustrate him.
So we're going to see a lot of that for the Cincinnati Bengals, the no-huddle to keep the Vikings from putting their substitutes on.
For the 2nd week in a row, the Vikings face a no-huddle offense. Today, no huddle, nowhere, no way.
Well, no. You know, the no-huddle has been good for us. And we use it very effectively. And, you know, things today just didn't click. And, you know, that's football.
So let the Vikings take their collective bows. But we've got to ask, what do you call this? A Southwest Louisiana cakewalk? Duck walk? Todd Scott, can we talk? What is it, Todd? You got a name?
Oh, no, I don't have a name for it. It's just something that a lot of the guys do on the team. I guess it's a dance that the popular young rap group Crisscross is doing. And I know myself and Carlos Jenkins and Trip Welber and all like to joke around. And really what we just try to do is just get the crowd and the rest of the players excited, play with a lot of emotion, and just having fun out there.
I think some Vikings fans appreciate that after a somewhat dry attitude on the field for many years for this team, a respectful attitude under Bud Grant, but it's fun to see some fun out there, and it seems like you're having it. So you picked it up on MTV? Is that what you're telling us?
That's the first time I saw it, but I'm a very emotional player, much like Chris, and I like to see guys, you know, get excited about playing. I mean, I know there's a lot of money and things in this game, but this game is still one that's based on emotion. And I think if you're going to play to the best of your abilities, you have to let your emotion come out.
The last interception, you didn't do the new dance. What, maybe didn't want to rub it in that much, the big lead, or were you getting talked to a little bit? Or?
Well, I was pretty tired, and I just was so, I couldn't believe that I'd gotten that 3rd interception, so I was kind of starstruck for a minute there, but then I just came off the field and just wanted to take it easy. But I was getting pretty tired also.
Lastly, a lot of pressure on your shoulders, Todd, taking over for a position that Joey Browner dominated for years on this team and moving from cornerback. Are you comfortable now? Do you feel that you're handling this the way you should?
Well, moving into a veteran secondary has made it awful easy for me with the likes, you know, Carl Lee back there and Audrey McMillan, as well as having Felix Wright or the Vincent Glenn in there to help me along the way. So they've given me a lot of help, and basically just with the veterans back there, you get a lot of experience, and they help you, you know, work through the hard times. And that's what I'm trying to do right now, just grow and just get better each week.
Well, it sure happened this week, and we thank you for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
Todd Scott, Viking safety, and Chris will be back, by the way, to answer some calls. And up next, we're going to talk some baseball with Strip beat writer Jeff Lenahan and Twins broadcaster Ted Robinson. So don't touch that dial.
Don't touch that dial. Something cool around the corner. Hang on. Hang on just another minute. Hang on. Hang on just another minute. Hang on. Hang on just another minute or two. Just another minute. Don't touch that dial. Hang on just another.
It is very beautiful here.
B-15.
It's better than Vegas.
Ladies seem to like the uniform.
The soup is quite good.
B-15.
I like all the lights.
That was the quarter I gave you.
Getting the right price for all your needs is as important to us as it is to you. That's why everything we sell comes with our right price guarantee. It guarantees you in writing you'll never pay too much for anything you buy at Champion Auto. Stop in and ask for it. It's just one more reason why we say, from start to finish, you'll win with Champion Auto Stores.
It's like bumps and potholes don't exist.
Frankly, it's more comfortable than sitting in my living room. The longer you drive it, the more the little things impress you.
Yeah, it's really held on to its value.
When I put my foot on the pedal, it does just what I tell it to do right away.
I think it's easily the most luxury you can get for the money.
There are lots of good reasons to buy a Lexus LS400, and one good reason not to. Lease an LS400 at Lexus of Wayzata today.
Tell me what's going on next week.
Well, the Vikings don't have time to dawdle because next week it's Tom Waddle and the Bears who lit it up against Atlanta. We'll find out what'll make the difference next Sunday in a moment. Also, a little bit later, that phone call line is opening up for Chris Carter. If you got some Vikings questions, 330-9030. That's 330-9030. One of the most asked questions by Twins fans these days, what happened in the second half of the season? Here are a few numbers that could help answer that question. The Twins suffered a power outage. 65 home runs in the first half of the season, 35 in the second with 7 games to go. 224 extra base hits to 154, also a telling stat, but this one really hits home because the Twins didn't hit them home. 425 runs in the first half of the season, 284 in the second. To talk about it, with us tonight, Twins broadcaster Ted Robinson and also beat writer for the Star Tribune, Jeff Lenahan, the best dressed beat writer in the country, possibly. Jeff, you wrote about the power outage recently. What happened? Why?
Well, it's strange. I don't think any of us thought we'd be sitting here talking both last few days of September about the Twins not scoring enough runs and that really being their downfall in the second half. In the first half of the season, they were on the verge of setting a lot of club records for runs scored, and all of a sudden, as you saw with the graphics, the run production just went into an incredible decline. I think Ken Herbeck had a lot to do with it. His injury problems and never really being at full strength in the second half, and mostly their left-handed hitters were what did them in offensively. If you look at Paliarulo, Chili Davis from both sides of the plate, and Randy Bush, and of course Ken Herbeck, you see that they just didn't get the production from that side.
And in fact, Ted, I guess instead of talking about playoffs, we're talking about what they might do to correct that from the left side next season. Your thoughts?
You know, it's interesting that you mention this because really, if you look at the pitching this year, the Twins' pitching has been better than Oakland's, except for Eckersley. And that's a big except. But except for Eckersley, the Twins' pitching has been better. So the pitching certainly has been good enough to win. The second half of the year, the hitting has dropped off. And unfortunately, what happens in September skews the numbers because they're playing a lot of experimental lineups right now. But since I've been with the Twins for 5 years now, I've never heard them say, we need to get left-handed hitting until now. And that's clearly going to be one of Andy McPhail's big chores this offseason.
The pitching, I guess, next year the prognosis looks good. And young arms, will they all be on that starting rotation, or will they sign someone? Will they keep Smiley? What are your thoughts on that?
I think Smiley's a big question, like you said, Scott. The pitching really was very steady all season, as Ted said, and you can't really blame too much of what's gone wrong on the pitching with the exception of a few stretches. I think they have the good nucleus for a strong rotation. When you look at Tapani, Erickson, if Smiley does come back, Mahomes and Trombley have given some good indications that they may come back and be decent pitchers next year, although they're still in the learning process. The question is a left-hander. If you don't re-sign Smiley, you've got to either go outside the organization and try to get a left-handed pitcher, or you maybe move Mark Guthrie out of a role he's been very successful in coming out of the bullpen. So that's going to be the big question for the pitching staff.
Quickly, Ted, your thoughts about who's going to do well in the playoffs and win it all this season?
Well, I have absolutely no clue on who to pick in Toronto, Oakland. Normally I'm very opinionated, as people know, on a pick, but I have no clue on Toronto, Oakland. I can't believe Toronto would not pitch Jack Morris 3 times. That may be a big edge for them. And people are starting to go with Pittsburgh, but I can't see Pittsburgh beating Atlanta in the National League.
Okay, so he likes Atlanta.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I just think that the last couple of years we thought Pittsburgh was going to beat the Reds and then the Braves. They were upset. I think maybe this year they're going to turn it around. Bonds is due to have a good postseason, and I think maybe he will. In the American League, it's a tough one for me, just like it is with Ted.
Okay.
They need to get 3 starts out of Morris, but if they need to use him, he pitched today, they might have to bring him back Friday or Saturday if they're still trying to fight off the Brewers. If they do that, then that backs up everything else, and that's going to be a real tough situation because the A's have overcome so much this year that it's tough to pick against them.
Okay, well, thanks for stopping down. This year you guys will get to enjoy it from the sidelines, maybe in your living room even. The woman who scored the first 10 in Olympic gymnastics history would now give that same score to life in the USA. Nadia Comaneci defected from Romania back in 1989, and now she's flourishing personally and, as a result, professionally. She got involved with U.S. gymnast Bart Connor, and he got Nadia excited about losing weight and getting back in shape. That has led to endorsements, one for jockey underwear and another that brought her to Minneapolis this week. She was beaming when she talked with Mark Rosen.
Nadia, you touched the lives of so many young women in particular in this country. What kind of feedback have you received in your travels here throughout the United States?
I didn't expect to receive that unbelievable welcome. I thought that the people, you know, probably they remember what I did 16 years ago, but I didn't realize that there would be the exercise, what I did in the Olympics would be so fresh in their memory.
It all seems so long ago. Today, Nadia is a spokesperson for a fitness product. Memories and her immediate family are Nadia's only connection to the harsh, dark world of Romania since her defection in 1989. Nadia, since your defection from Romania, what means the most to you about the United States?
I think the most important thing are the people. Because, you know, if you have a friend, then you can organize your life better. If you don't have, it's not so easy.
Before expatriating, Nadia recalled visits outside the Iron Curtain.
You come here and then you go back with like pink socks or yeah, because you don't find there, and you are the best one in the country there. You have something that nobody else has.
After our interview, what followed is simply fate. Downstairs in our newsroom, a young Romanian girl and her American adoptive father were visiting Don Shelby, whose reports from Romania were heartbreaking.
With so many to care for, the nurses...
The video of little Vasilika was unforgettable.
Bine? Bine.
Today, the lucky, healthy little girl met Romania's brightest star in a bleak country.
Yeah, sure.
Are you enjoying life more now than ever before?
I'm having a wonderful life, and now that I can do and I can say whatever I want, something that is new for me, I think it's nothing that I miss more. That I can, my family will come for a visit in a couple of months, and everything is great.
It's where Major Nelson dreamed of Jeannie, Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral. Where, Andy said, men with the right stuff get together. Where else can you see rockets as tall as the redwoods and shuttle flights that'll really take you into the twilight zone? But seeing the Mini Whitney didn't exactly pass military muster, it was suggested we park someplace else. Jack, Andy said, why spend $200 a day for some fancy Florida resort? Not when $5 buys you beachfront on the RV lot, and you might even find a genie that isn't in your dreams. Can it get any better than this? The hot Floridian sun and sand as white as a Pepsodent smile.
You Winnebago!
Plus, the locals don't even mind lending a hand with the parking. And best of all, you can bring your own supply of Old Milwaukee Light. Standing on the warm Cocoa Beach sands, sharing a cold Old Mill Light, watching that rocket's red glare. As I've often said, it doesn't get any better than this.
You look left, you look right, but those stains stay out of sight. Biz gets the stains that get by you. You're looking here, looking there. The stains are hiding everywhere. Biz gets the stains that get by you.
Because your eyes can't find every hidden stain, you need Biz to help remove many stains before they're set for life.
Biz gets the stains that get by you.
This is the season for real value at Slumberland. Real mattress value from the Midwest's #1 mattress store. America's best-selling mattresses, just $98. This 4-poster canopy bed at just $129. Get double discounts on over 100 Lazy Boy recliners. Take an extra $50 off our low sale price. Plus, don't miss this stunning 6-foot California oak bedroom, unbelievably priced. Seasons change, but real value is always in style at Slumberland. The sale of the season, going on now, only at Slumberland Furniture.
Radio free, radio free, radio free, radio free, Rosen.
It's Radio Free Reynolds tonight. They paid the singers so much, though, Chris, that they didn't have any money left to change the name out front. But it is this evening, Radio Free Reynolds, for just one Sunday. And before we talk to Chris Carter and some of the phone calls tonight, we'd like to hear a different perspective on next Sunday's game against the Bears. WLUP disc jockey Jerry Cook is on the line from Chicago. Jerry, what was the difference today? They looked so horrible against the Giants on Monday night. Did Ditka get him rejuiced, or were the Falcons just that bad today?
I think you've answered 2 of the key points already there, Scott. Lackluster effort Monday night on national television against the Giants. Ditka motivated them to come out big time against Atlanta today, and the result was that 10-point victory, which really wasn't as close as the final score, but the first half was all Chicago, and you know, Jim Harbaugh had a great day, 18 for 24, 280 yards, and a couple of touchdowns, and Brad Muster and Neil Anderson, the 2 running backs for the Bears, combined for about 160 yards, and Anderson ran for 2 and Muster for 1, plus the Bears' offensive line was looking good as well. They gave Harbaugh a lot of time to throw, and when, you know, he's got time to throw and those 2 backs are doing their job, the result was 41 points on the board. But on the other hand, the Atlanta Falcons defense wasn't that good either. On the other hand, the Bears defense, while the defensive line and the linebackers looked good, the secondary was toast at some times. Andre Rison caught 3 passes. Jones caught 1. So your buddy Chris Carter is probably licking his chops for next Sunday.
Well, I think he is, Jerry, and we thank you for joining us. They're going to face a different defense, no doubt, as well. So thanks for joining us from Chicago tonight. And we're going to go to some phone calls now, Chris, to find out what Vikings fans are thinking about what went on today and maybe what they're looking forward to next Sunday. And we've got Scott on line 2. Scott?
Yeah, congratulations, Chris. And I was wondering if your return to Ohio, since you went to Ohio State, fueled your big game against the Bengals, if that gave you extra incentive.
I don't think it really had any extra incentive. It's nice to play well at home, but I think the game plan we had dictated my performance, and also the defense that they played, and also the performance of Rich also dictated my performance on the field.
Would have worked in any state today. Let's go to David on line 4. David, you're on the air.
Yeah, hi, Chris. Hey, I'm wondering if you can tell me if the players feel a new sense of team spirit maybe playing under Coach Green that maybe hasn't been felt in the past couple seasons.
Well, I think the players enjoy Coach Green, and they enjoy playing under him. They play hard for him. And I think they like his concept offensively, defensively, and the special teams, and also they enjoy the treatment. He treats them all like men. And I think he treats pretty much everybody on the team the same way.
And that's got to be a motivating factor as well when you step out in the field, having that kind of leadership.
It definitely is. You're looking up to the person who's calling the shots for you. And sometimes when things get down or you're not believing in the offense or believing in the defense, it comes into play. And you really try to hang in there a little bit longer because you know he's believing in you.
Thanks for taking some calls today, too, Chris. And my goodness, your personality's not quite as scathing as Sid's. And nice respite for a week. We'll be back with the champion big play of the game.
Some things should last a lifetime, but most won't. At Champion Auto Stores, we have a partial solution. Many of the parts we sell carry our lifetime limited warranty. It can't guarantee the part won't fail, but it does guarantee that in the event of a failure, you'll never have to pay full price for a replacement. Stop in and get all the details of our lifetime limited warranty. It's one more reason why we say, from start to finish, you'll win with Champion Auto Stores.
And now, the Champion Auto Store Big Time Play.
Our big time play is Derek Fenner's touchdown. Just kidding. Anthony Carter has been making big time plays for more than 8 years. And today, AC passed Sammy White as the Vikings' all-time leader in receiving yards. I'll be right back after this.
Cherokee, the world's only 4x4 with a standard driver's side airbag.
See your Great Northern Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best. It's where Major Nelson dreamed of Jeannie. Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral. Andy said, why spend $200 a day for some fancy Florida resort? Not when $5 buys you a beachfront lot, and you might even find a Jeannie that isn't in your dreams. Hot sun, white sand, and the locals don't even mind lending a hand with the parking. And you can bring your own supply of Old Milwaukee Light. Watching that rocket's red glare, sharing an Old Mill Light, it doesn't get any better than this.
There are 11,000 people in Marysville, California. Each year, they're exposed to some 300 germs, which means they have over 3 million chances to catch a cold. And you wonder why we offer 24-hour pharmacy service? Walgreens, the pharmacy America trusts. For the nearest 24-hour location, call 1-800-WALGREENS.
Rosen Sports Sunday has been brought to you by Champion Auto Stores and Crown Auto Service Centers, where you can do it yourself or we'll do it for you.
Don't worry about a blackout next week. It's a sellout with the Bears, and Rosen is back on the air next Sunday night. Have a good evening.
Hello and welcome to the Minnesota State Lottery's official Daily 3 drawing. Tonight's drawing is being audited by the accounting firm Schechter, Dock & Cantor. The Minnesota State Lottery official tonight is Don Feeney. Our first number is 3. The second number, 9. And the third number is 5.